Today we're going to work on 2.3, and it's purely review. It has to do with graphing lines. So if I had this equation, what is the slope of that line? How do you find the slope? So this point is 0, 1, and this point is 4, 3. Oh, thank you, for negative 3. And the slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Which is 0.1 and which is 0.2? It doesn't matter. As long as you, so let's say we call this one x1, y1 and x2, y2. You can switch those. You just can't say x1, y2 in the same point. Okay, so we would do y2, 1, minus y1, which is negative 3, over x2, which is 0, minus x1, which is 4, and I get 4 over negative 4, which is negative 1. Can we figure that out just from the graph without using the slope formula? Yeah. You just count 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's negative 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, which simplifies to be negative 1. Okay. The equation of the line is going to be y equals mx plus b. So what would this equation equal? Negative 1x plus the y-intercept of 1. Okay, you guys remember this? Right. So if we counted this one, and remember it's always rise over run. How do you remember that? Well, if you want to go snowboarding, you've got to rise to the top of the mountain before you can go down the run. So you do the vertical change first, and then you do the horizontal change. So here we have a negative 1, 2, 3, 4 for my slope, and then the run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which simplifies to be negative 2/3. So y is equal to negative 2/3 x, and then what am I going to do for my y-intercept? Ah, good. I don't know what the y-intercept is. It looks like maybe 2/3 or 3/4, but if you guess, you're probably going to get it wrong. So we need to figure out exactly where that is, and we can't look at the graph to figure it out. But I do know 2 points. I know the point negative 2, 2, and the point 4, negative 2. And if you look at this equation, there are 3 variables remaining, and I know 2 of them. So pick one of the points and plug it in. It doesn't matter which one. So I'm going to plug this one in. That gives me 2 equals negative 2/3 times 2 plus b, or times negative 2. Sorry. Does that make sense? Yeah? So I get 2 equals negative 4/3 or positive 4/3 plus b. Then I subtract 4/3, and I get 2 minus 4/3 equals b. How do I add or subtract fractions? You have to have a common denominator. So what would the common denominator in this case be? It's going to be 3. So how many thirds are there in 2 whole? 6. So I'm going to change this to 6/3. And what is 6/3 minus 4/3? 2/3. So B is 2/3, which allows me to finish the equation. I can put 2/3 right here, which was one of my guesses at the beginning. So y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2/3. Do you guys need to see another one of those? No? You can handle that? All right. So, actually, let's look at the... So how much does her pay increase for each hour worked? So this is a slope of how much Raina is getting paid. Boy, you're popular, Raina. And it looks like she gets paid $60 to start working, and then she gets paid an amount per hour. How much is she going to get paid in each hour? It's just the slope of the line, which is 30. Have we already done this? Did we already do 2.3? Okay. So the slope of the line is 30, which means that every hour of additional work, she gets paid $30. Okay. Suppose that the weight in pounds of an airplane of a linear function in gallons. When carrying 15 gallons of fuel, the airplane weighs 1996. When carrying 40 gallons of fuel, it weighs 2156. How much does the airplane weigh if it is carrying 50 gallons of fuel? So we know that this point here is 15,1996. And then we know at 40, it weighs 2156. How much does the airplane weigh when it's carrying 50 gallons of fuel? Well, first we need the slope. So 2156 minus 1996 divided by 40 minus 15. So that's going to be 160 over 25. Did I do that right? 416. Yeah, it looks like it. So 160 divided by 25 is 6.4. What does that tell me about the story? So every gallon weighs 6.4 pounds. Okay. So how am I going to figure out how much the plane weighs when it's carrying 50 gallons? So we already know at 40 gallons, the plane weighs 2156. So we need to add 10 more gallons, which is going to be 64 pounds. So I add 64 to that, and I get 2220. Okay. All right. We know the slope of the line is 3/4, and we know that it hits the point -8. So we will use the slope-intercept equation, and we're going to plug in everything we know to find B. So the slope, it goes there, the x, and the y. Oh, I got that backwards. So how about this and that? That looks better. 8 equals 3/4 times -8 plus b. What is 3/4 of -8? Well, you just do 3 times negative 8, which is negative 24, and then divide it by 4, which is negative 6. So 8 equals negative 6 plus b. Add the 6. B is 14. So the equation is y equals 3/4 x plus 14. Piece of cake. Same idea here. I count my slope, negative 1, 2, positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So m is negative 2/5. And I know the y-intercept is 3. So the line is just going to be negative 2/5 x plus 3. And lastly, oh, this was an easy one too. So the slope is 5, and the y-intercept is negative 5. That was really easy. All right, get to work. 2.3.